They know what's going on.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for game 2 and potentially the last one between DePaul and Big Toe Bros. This is GGLeagues. This is our collegiate gold and below finals. There are a couple plat players, but you know, it is what it is. We are getting into pick and ban, or ban and pick. Again, we see Big Toe Bros are up on the left side, so they're on blue side. DePaul is on red side this time. So we are seeing similar bans already, at least from Big Toe Bros. They are throwing LeBlanc. Again, Azir, we're not really sure about Azir because I would have preferred playing against Azir in that game instead of a Vel'Koz.
Yeah, especially with the momentum that the mid laner must have now. Like he was behind early, but he closed up perfectly with Vel'Koz. Yeah. So I think I would much rather ban the Vel'Koz and leave the cover champ up instead of, because I think momentum now plays more of a role.
Yeah, and I honestly, if they ban Urgot, I would be very surprised because again, I just think that
the Ornn items were just too useful last game.
Yeah.
They gave every single one of their carries.
Oh, they're throwing 2 bans at mid lane. That means they have to leave Vayne or Sedge up again.
Or God even.
Yeah.
But they do have first pick, so let's find out what they want to pick first.
Yeah, I don't know. I what would you guys want to see them ban here?
You're probably gonna first pick a jungler. Because they can leave their last rotation for.
Oh, okay, they ban Vayne.
Okay, that's smart of them. But Sejuani is up again, and Sejuani's turned out to be perfect for them. Just a team fight engage, just a tankiness of her, and just like a big meat shield in front of you is kind of hard to take care of. But I do think I think I should pick the jungler first here. Save the last pick for mid lane potentially.
I don't know. I'd say. Oh, yep. They're picking it. They're picking Sedge.
Oh,
they picked Urgot. This could be jungle Urgot. I highly doubt it, but it could be jungle Urgot.
I do see them picking Gnar again because I think Gnar does have a decent matchup into Urgot. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's
Sona Taric bot. Oh, this could be very spicy. So this means, okay, TL played against TSM in the finals this past weekend. They played against Sona Taric. It did not go very well because they picked Ashe Zyra. So me personally, she's picking. Who's picking Aurelia? Do you think that's going top or mid?
I think that's going mid.
Mid.
KD does have the most practice on Aurelia. From what I've seen on OP.GG, Dumpthick does not have. Connect 12 is a better. I think Connect 12 is a better Aurelia. Dumpthick 1-2-3 does not seem to be the most proficient on the champion at times.
Okay.
But they are banning out his Gnar, so that's a comfort pick right out of the champ pool.
One thing I would want to see from Big Toe Bros right now is I would want to see them pick any type of aggressive bot lane, and by aggressive I mean Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank or Thresh, any type of hook champion is really, really good into Sona Taric because Sona Taric is really good at stalling out engages or just playing fights super slow because really all they want to do is poke you, you engage onto them, so they're really good into like Alistar or Nautilus, things like that, as long as Taric is the one to take the hook. If it's Sona, she can get away if you don't focus her. But you want to pick Blitzcrank because, again, Blitzcrank pulls and, you know, you kind of just lose. We saw that be played in Origin versus Fnatic last weekend in EULCS semifinal, and yeah, it is an LCS, but I mean, hey, I've played it. It's stupid though. It is so easy to play.
They're committing to the engage.
Yeah, they're really committing to engage right now.
They are looking for this level 6 going all in.
Yeah.
But
yeah, this is actually a lot better of a team fighting comp.
Yeah.
Because granted they don't have siege, so that's the only bad thing right now. I don't think picking Ezreal is the right decision here. I strongly disagree with Ezreal because Sona and Taric are just gonna heal up the poke. Yeah, this is okay. Okay, you have a Morgana. She spell shields. The Sona are then you have the Tarek E, and you have the Aurelia E, you have the Aurelia stun, you have the J4 stun, or J4 knockup. Again, I don't really like this.
I would have much rather seen maybe a Sever just push this, like, pressure the bot side as much as you can,
Yeah.
make him gain no gold. Sever Morgana would have been really good just pushing it in repeatedly.
Yeah.
So sensible to Jarvan ganks, but if you ward correctly with the Sejuani, it is a free win.
But I mean, even then, it's better because up until
Over the Renekton
against the
pick.
Urgot.
And
He's so
recently, Renekton just had a buff too, with his what was it? His Q and his passive
And his
AD.
healing.
His healing cap on his Q, I know it was increased as well.
So, how do you guys think these are going to? Yeah, so Renekton did have a decrease, it looks like, on the cooldown of his Q. Or no, an increase on the healing on his Q, and his base statistics were increased. Health was increased by 3, a little less than 3. His attack speed growth was increased. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see him at later stages. Just because I think that'll make him a little bit more relevant once he gets to late game. But again, I really don't think... I don't know, actually. I think that they can take this late with Sonateric, because Sonateric, as long as you're giving Sona blue buff, and she has her staff, she can... Realistically, she can just heal everyone up. She can heal Ezreal poke, she can heal Ori poke. You can't really shove them out of lane. You can't really poke them off of Baron because they just pull back, Sona heal, and then go back in.
I do think the Urgot's going to be really good this game because the majority of them are AD.
Yeah.
Urgot can just build armor, and you can have to worry about Sona, which I feel like isn't the greatest pick into whatever team Big Tobros have, because Sejuani and Orianna do have a great engage with the QR. So it's up to Big Tobros to make sure they get a great engage off. But the Renekton may be looking to split push the entire game against the Urgot. Make sure you just apply pressure all over the map and leave the Sonateric in their own in the mid lane potentially later into the game.
Yeah. We do see a meatball in Sejuani. Again, don't really have any meatballs on the side of the Paul.
Jarvan, if he goes tank.
Yeah, I mean, tank. I don't expect him to go tank though.
I think he
Yeah,
has
because they
4.
only have really only 3 main sources of damage right now. Sona can go full AP,
Well,
which
I
is
expect her to go full AP actually.
which will be chunking people with your the empowered ability too. But top lane, how I see it right now, Renekton just gonna try to stall out until he's level 3, where he can start winning trades very easily. Because once most Renekton players go, they usually just dash in, stun, auto, Q, auto, and then dash right back out with a free trade. And with that stun duration, if it's the enraged one, it's gonna be long, and Urgot won't be able to do anything. And since
Literally won't be able to do anything.
And since Urgot's shield's now on his E instead of his W, he has to land his E to get that shield. And so,
No, it is, as long as you use the E, it should give you a shield.
yeah, but still, either way, Urgot won't be able to shield any of the damage that Renekton can deal out to him within that level 3 spike. So Urgot's mostly going to have to be trying to play very safely, just CS with his Q and just play very passively, just to soak up like he did in Elmer's game. Just sit back, soak up experience, soak up CS, and just play the game out until he can scale into late game.
Yeah, I mean, I think top lane could go either way. It depends on who focuses or who puts jungle pressure. I think if Jarvan comes top early, he could snowball this Renekton, and Renekton could just kind of take over the game. Again, if that does happen this game, they need to have Renekton sitting in a side lane. They can't just have it where Renekton
Gets the tower. And
yeah, okay, you took top, now you're gonna walk around in river, and now you're gonna kind of group with us, and it's like, no, he gets ahead. He needs to, start pushing his advantage, and he needs to, push his advantage and kind of take over the game.
Who's Jarvan wouldn't electrocute? He's going probably for the full burst Jarvan.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That's typically what J4 goes. I mean, you don't have to go. Yeah, because usually you'll see Conqueror sometimes, but that's in very rare circumstances. Again, because they do have squishies, Electrocute could be an alright thing just because. It could be beneficial just because, he can blow up Ezreal. But again, Ezreal can kind of just jump out of all of that stuff. So
I do believe that the bot side should have the advantage in big Tobros. They should have like the early pressure and such.
Correct.
And maybe Sejuani can play around that because early on, Solana is super susceptible to ganks and has to blow her flash almost immediately with her low base health. But I'm also interested to see how the mid lane's going to work out because Aurelia wants to be like really aggressive, wants to try to get solo kill in the mid lane, but with Orianna going barrier and just overall being a defensive champion, I do think it's going to be hard for Cute Knight 12 to try to engage on the Orianna or potentially try to make a play.
Yeah. From what I'm seeing from this comp, J4 is going to really mostly focus on just ganking the mid and the top side. Top side's mostly going to be more preferable, or the same thing with the mid, since both lanes both have an additional stun. So with the knockup and the stun, it's going to make it both easy to get a pick off or a kill.
Yeah, and kind of going off of the earlier point where Sona is very squishy. She is very squishy, but Ezreal is also equally as squishy. So if J4 comes bot first and they're able to blow up Ezreal E's forward or something, he does something stupid, I think that could kind of spell doom for Big Tobro's bot lane. But if they don't, I don't know. I kind of prefer Sejuani coming bot just because if you hit a binding from Morgana, you hit a Q from Sejuani, so basically she knocks them up. That should be okay for them. Not saw a little bit of trading going down early. I kind of expect Cute Knight to just be shoved in early. She's taking a lot of unnecessary poker there. She should have just let the wave shove in. We do have Frostmancy in the bot lane, just generating a bunch of gold. If you're unfamiliar with this lane, Sona basically just gets Kleptomancy and she gets Frostfang procs, basically the whole lane, until she gets her item. She did get a CS. Oh, we see a lot of pressure going down mid lane. I'm not sure what Cute Knight is doing. She just needs to let the wave shove in, honestly. We do see a potential gank coming mid, but they do have vision.
Oh, and there's a first blood over at the bot lane. That's a
double bot lane.
Double bot lane kill.
What? It looks like they lost level 2. Yeah, they just lost level 2. And they died. Morgana must have hit a binding, and they kind of just went all in off of that. So that is actually really tragic for DePaul, especially because that's a lane you just want to
stall out and just
stall out, gold. Not die, which is exactly what they did there.
Yeah, and as I was saying earlier, Urgot's just gonna have to just let Renekton push up and just wait for the tower to just crash and wait for the CS to just come to him at this point, because pushing out is just not going to be beneficial for him. They seems to be trying to go for a gank at mid.
They force flash. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically this just opens up the rest of the lane for for Aurelia, because again, Aurelia is Flash Ignite. She is kind of an assassin. So if she lands that E, she can kind of just go all in and try and burst the Ori out. She will have to try and bait out the barrier. So if they can do that again. J4 could just run back mid. He could just base, take top. We see an all-in from
going back in.
She has no mana though.
Yeah, she has no mana.
She might lose this trade actually.
No, she's just baiting. She's baiting. It was only...
so Giovanni's here though.
The J4 misses the EQ combo. He also flashed in that instance too. So kind of a waste now.
I mean, but again, that was kind of good that he missed it, because or else he would have died.
That would have been
tactical play right there by the jungler.
Yeah, that would have been what we like to call a strategic int.
Katie is taking free poked again, but that's the nature of the lane. Aurelia can't do much until she gets more items. She's going to have to take the free poke, but...
Yeah, and this is kind of bad for DePaul's bot lane. Again, we can kind of just see the wave being shoved in.
Ezreal is up to 15 CS on Taric.
Yeah, not really much that they can do there. Again, yeah, that's going to happen. Again, you can see Tarek actually just can't walk up and see us. So that is a little bit of an issue. So Ezreal just kind of gets to free farm. We do see jungle bot side. I don't know if she's
clear cards.
yeah, she just cleared bot side. I'm not sure if she was looking for a gank or what was going on. But yeah, as we can see, bot side wave is kind of just frozen. We'll be pushing back into them, but this is kind of the issue with Sonateric. You can't really pressure the lane because you don't want to take free trades for no reason. Yeah.
Ezreal was landing his Qs a lot too.
Yeah, Ezreal is starting to get ahead with his Qs. But I guess the benefit of this lane is you have Sona, and Sona can kind of just heal.
Oh, they just landed.
Another binding into.
Seems like Sona's going to get picked off here. Sona has to flash.
Ezreal does not have flash from earlier.
Oh, Morgana flash.
Morgana flash.
Trying to get the kill.
But the Sejuani is coming down.
Yeah, they do know Sedge's bot. Nice.
Nice stun and initiation.
It's a fair trade.
Yep.
medium
block.
block.
She will die. She will end up dying. That was a very nice trade. A little risky. Not sure if that was on purpose or like
she actually got also blocked by minions going back to her, which is unfortunate, but
yeah, J4 was there to try to help out just to secure the kill if he needed to be. Also trying to get that swag flag in just for the assist.
Swag flag. What the heck? Yeah, and again, the nice thing about Sonateric is Sona is allowed to heal throughout this lane, so it doesn't really matter if she gets poked out. Again,
she pop her sums.
Yeah. I mean, she did pop her sums, but it's not the biggest issue because they didn't kill her. And as long as you don't kill Sonateric, they scale. Whereas it's a little bit more on I'd say it's on a timer, but it's not really on a timer for Big Tobro's bot lane because they scale as well. Yeah, I think once they get level 6, that could be where the issue comes in for them.
Yeah, right now the Urgot's playing it very well. He's pretty much even in CS with Renekton, even though Renekton has can play more aggressively in the lane. Renekton popping.
Looks like there's an all-in.
But Urgot just eases out of there.
He could go back in if he has his E. He has rage, not full rage. Yep, looks like he's gonna go in. Q. Stun.
He might be. Yep.
Yeah,
he just blows Urgot flash. That's a kill.
Yeah.
Procs the time at right there too. Just
yeah,
to finish him
when
off.
you see Renekton kind of ult, you don't really want to go in. Just kind of let the ultimate run out and back off. Wave was shoving into him, so he was okay. Game volume's all the way up. So, yeah.
I have to do with that as well. You turn it down a little bit.
No, this is.
This is desktop audio. You figured it out.
No, you're good. Wait, so, going in. Okay, this should be a little bit better.
Let us know if it sounds better.
Yeah, you guys let us know if it sounds a little bit better.
Any criticism?
Yeah, we're open to any and all criticism.
Right now, I do think that DePaul has his third comeback up, they say. It's still down okay, but with the Renekton giving an advantage, I do think that DePaul has the
J4 looks to become
actually really good back on stop.
Yeah, stop. It looks like, DePaul does know that Sejuani's bot somehow. Oh, they saw it for minions. Interesting decision. Yeah, Sejuani could get jumped or
Seems
dragon.
like they're trying to get dragon right now.
Okay, yeah, it looks like they're just gonna get dragon because they have a pretty good feeling that they know J4's top. Again, just trading top dragon. I think it's pretty worth it. If you look at DePaul's team, they're going to get objectives early. Just based off of the nature of is their takedown. Oh.
Oh.
Q Knight could go in here and go for a kill. It looks like she will. Oh.
He gets the kill and burns the Sejuani ult too.
Yeah.
Top lane has to pop his ult.
Yeah.
Now Urgot seems to have the advantage. But then
She didn't have to fight that aggressively.
Urgot can't get a
Could
kill.
ult. No, I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, again, not really sure why Urgot's trying to take these trades. You see that Renekton has ult. Just, again, just back off unless you're 100% confident that you can E his E, which it has not worked so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cute Knight is starting to rack up a pretty sizable lead. She's about 20 CS up, 2 kills up. I'd imagine she single-handedly is kind of starting to, have a very large lead. Oh, game is a lot louder than her voice now. Okay. Alright, now we'll turn this up a little bit.
Alright, thank you.
Alright, is that better now?
I do think that the Paul and Roman have to play through Katie now. It's going to be mid-game team fights after mid-game. G9 12 usually on their Aurelia now because it should be throughout the team fights. Tariq should be able to use Alter, and it will be favorable for Q9 12 to just queue around with her ult. Make sure that make sure that the Ezreal and Morgana don't get to do much in the fight because you don't want them to continuously damage the front line.
Yeah, and we do have level 6s in the bot lane. I don't really think that it's going to be that big of an issue here. Because again, Morgana can just spell shield unless we see J4 come bot. I don't really know if they're going to try and force something around bot. It looks like J4 is literally just sitting mid top. But we do see that the Orianna does have her flashback up and barrier, so they would need to try and outplay that if they were going to try and move from all in. We can see that they could have a collapse here, at least on the Paul side, on the bot lane. Probably not going to happen.
And right now Ezreal is pulling off with a huge Sona using her ult in this.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a whip.
Right now, they actually can collapse on the Tariq because he's by himself.
They're trying to pick up the Ezreal. They just saw him. Oh, they might. Oh, and they get the kill on Sona. Morgana landing the snare right on top of it.
Yeah, that was played really well by Lamar.
Don't think they saw the Johnny come down.
And if you had noticed earlier, Morg has been playing a little bit more back when they're pushing in the tower for plating and letting all that plating power gold go straight into Ezreal. So right now, Big Toad Bro is ahead by at least 1k and 300 gold. And Ezreal seems to try to go for that first tower or just slowly pushing it out. Getting that solo plating gold, which is just gonna make him, put the gap between him and the bot lane just even further.
I do believe the Jarvan should be playing around top side. What Renekton's doing now is getting the Rift Herald. I do think that they should get that because Sejuani seems to be pathing bot side. And Jarvan seems to not be getting much done around the map. It looks like he is going to gain because Orianna now top the flash essentially.
Nope, there goes the Orianna.
And this is where you now go to the Rift Herald with the Renekton pressure on the top side. I do think that it should be a free Rift Herald with Sejuani still going bot side.
Now, bot tower is going to go down now.
Yeah, relatively soon. Again, it's not the biggest issue, just because I don't think they're going to drop it in the next 20 seconds, so they're not going to get all of the turret plating.
Well, they took all 4.
Well, no, you can get a last one for taking this.
They're actually going to take it.
Oh, they are going to get it. Okay. Alright, stand corrected. Yeah, they get it. That's actually really good for the Big Toad Bros bot lane. That should put them, not including kills, just off the turret plating. That's 1,000 gold right there. Split between the two bot lane members. I would be interested to see if they rotate them top or if they leave them mid. Yeah, I think that they're just going to send them back bot lane. Again, I don't know. I kind of want to send them top lane just because.
The Renekton's
the Renekton's kind of having his way with the Urgot.
I don't think Urgot would die to Tariq Zona. So it would be beneficial for the Urgot to just pick whatever farm he can under turret, while ranking Asher Standard's turret to do that.
Right now, they seem to try to go for a dragon right here. This could be the Sejuani and the bot lane. The bot lane's already ahead as is. They're gonna try to pull the dragon
But they do have. Oh, well, Ezreal did just blow all, so they could. Yeah, they have another defense here.
Oh,
Actually,
we get a
so this
TP
would be-
from the next
Yeah, this could be a really, really good fight. Sona pops the ult.
Morgana is dead now. They're focusing now. Cute Knight's just going in, but Urgot also TP too.
Sona's getting a little bit too close. That's the blow of the flag.
Oh, and Urgot lands the ultimate on the Sona and picks her.
Sona out.
This is where having too many switch members is not best
Beneficial.
because
Yeah, but we do see Urgot coming, or we do see the Renekton coming up behind. He does have his W.
ooh, he did walk through without he believes the mistake.
Yeah, he should have walked him out.
Because when he try to turn something, he has full HP.
But I mean, they're honestly.
It's not a free poke from Ezreal.
And Ezreal's just poking them down all the way too, since they don't have any creeps on their side to soak up the damage or the Q shots.
Ooh, we're getting really low.
Now they're gonna have to start backing.
Yeah, they kind of just have to back off. I mean, they did what they needed to. They just kind of delayed, didn't let it get the turret. So overall, I believe that was a 2-for-2.
But the Nepal team was able to secure the dragon.
And they also got to secure the Orianna.
Yeah, and the Sona did get a kill, which will, give her some more gold.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Sona getting
Ezreal-
half health for just one Q.
Can you believe they should just back off now? If the mid drops and it drops, but they should reset after that fight because now.
Yeah, I think you kind of just have to let Cute Knight and J4 farm. Cute Knight is gonna go pick up bot lane farm. But I mean, again, we're seeing the Paul try and do. That hurt my eye. The Paul is kind of starting to do their thing and get back into the game a little bit.
The Ezreal does have 140 CS and Tarik's 44. Tarik does not have a first item yet. He's going to come back to bite them at some point later in team fights.
Yeah, I think they misplayed the lane a little bit.
Right now, Sejuani and Urgot are both trying to take the Rift Herald right now. They're gonna probably secure it because they have a lot of pressure in the mid lane and also.
Well, it looks like they're going in. They are going in for a fight.
Oh,
Orianna,
Orianna
very
with
good
the
Oreo.
All they have to do now is just type back and they're fine.
They seem they're gonna try and go for that Morgana.
I think Aurelia.
Oh, J4 getting picked off. Aurelia landing her ult.
Oh,
Doesn't get the stun.
That was
Doesn't
not
get the
good.
stun. Now they're being re-initiated.
It's kind of just have to. Oop.
They have to make sure
No, Renekton can pick up at least 2 kills here.
Yeah. Renekton still has his ult.
Yeah.
Ezreal has to if they have to focus
There
somewhere.
goes Aurelia. Aurelia goes
Oh,
in. Yeah. Ezreal forward. I don't know. I think
He can't fight this. He's really
Urgot
aggressive.
can die if Renekton just goes all in, which I really help too.
no, I think that was a mistake. He needs to go in on the Ezreal.
Ezreal,
that was a
yeah,
mistake.
this is where the farm advantage does come into play because
And
he's
this
just
is
so
really
far ahead now.
Yeah, and they just get an ace. So sort of a mini ace.
Yeah. They killed everyone, but it wasn't an official ace.
And they get the mid
Yeah, and they definitely get mid turret here. So I don't know. I think Ezreal should have the beginnings of. He's at least 2.5 items, whereas the Sona has 1, not even. And the Tarek doesn't even have his full polygons, which is also an issue. That is the one thing about Sona Tarek. You want to build your full support item. It looks like J4 is just going to get blown up. The Ezreal E flashes, ults.
And J4 is
Yeah,
down.
J4 is just destroyed.
And they seem like the big Cobra are going to get this Rift Herald before.
One social part.
Yeah, and Big Tobro is now 5k.
They have to play around the Ezreal.
4.9k up. Yeah, they definitely have to play around this Ezreal, because if they let Aurelia and Renekton just side lane, I think that's a mistake. Because if they split them up, I think that they can find some way to get gold back into this game. Yeah, because neither of their lanes can really contest and split push against them. I mean, the Urgot is starting to get big, but he's not really. I don't know. He's not that as big of a threat as the Renekton at this point.
Once he gets 3 items, maybe he gets the take the item. He has his Black Beaver finish, but he needs to get 2 items to get the biggest shield he can. Just go in, soak up so much damage, and then just play it out that way. But I do think that the whole way to come back is through their taking. Like they can essentially find someone with a Sona ult or what they're doing now is just forcing Big Cobras to come contest them.
Yeah, and I think this is really well played by DePaul.
Right now, they're trying to collapse.
Although they should not keep. Yeah, they should go.
They should.
They're
just
gonna try to
back
pick off this.
That's fine. They should just back off at this point. They
Target gets
weren't able.
picked
Yeah,
off.
they weren't able to get there. They got their cut off. Yeah, they kind of just need to back off at this point.
That's
It looks like they're just going in. They
Yeah.
will get the J4s. They
That's
could.
are just super make everyone really slow.
Oh,
They're got almost got the ult. Yeah, so
Nothing contested.
Now this
Yeah.
is just a free Baron. For
now this
before
should
it
just
takes
be a free
over.
Baron. Again, unfortunately, we can see DePaul's vision. DePaul has. Oh, actually, this is Big Cobra. Big Cobra has almost no vision of the top five. This could be a little risky.
Ritfield is top as well.
Yeah, Ritfield is top, so they will.
If he can get it in, he is really strong. They
Connect
can
the
find a
pocket
way.
goals just to give him a boost.
I get
What
bullied
an
by the
Oriana.
Oriana.
That was really
Oriana
good.
That's
again,
great.
2
Not
minutes,
gonna be.
and then just getting picked off.
Yeah, you gotta watch the ball. That's the one thing about her. You always have to hold the ball.
Yeah, at that point in time, they should have just given up the Baron. They shouldn't even try to have contested it. Sona's very squishy still at this point in the game. Renekton's only can only do so much.
And your
they're-
J4 wasn't up, and your J4 wasn't up. Went full damage, and well, it wasn't there.
Yeah. And all their whole team was there at full HP, so there wasn't much they were going to do.
Aurelia is still pretty strong. He is 4-1. Has the Triforce completed. He can potentially try to look to find Ezreal on the backside or the Morgana or the Oriana. That's her backline is just really strong, and if Aurelia can get on top of them, then it can make room for Dark to get open as well, and potentially look for a pick that way.
Yeah.
But right now, that's they have to give up the Ocean Drake to complete it.
Airdash right now is just sticking to the sideline right now because he knows that his teams pretty much win a fight even if he's not there. And his TP is up still, so if they do start a hard engage, he can come in and help finish up the work that his teammates have done.
They're going to play a pretty clean 4-1. Orga is just to farm topside for free, catch up a little bit. He is ahead now, but in the CS.
CS wise, he's fine, but item wise and strength, he is ahead of him right now.
Yeah, that is the annoying thing about this is they just have consistent poke. The Morgana Morgana W and just Ezreal Qs are very annoying to play against, especially if you're playing against a good Ezreal, which it looks like Mickey is a pretty decent Ezreal. Yeah, he's kind of just causing major issues. Like, as of right now, we can see Sonateric is 3 levels behind. Which is not what you want to see. This is basically what Orange did to Fnatic in the semifinals last week.
Looks like Renekton's going to let Urgot take that top side, trying to help his team.
Oh, he is flanking to the
Yeah,
backside.
if he can pick up the Ezreal, that was a good Oriole.
There was the Aurelia stun. Aurelia is
That
going
was
in
a
now.
very good.
That was close. But see, if the Aurelia can free up the
Well,
backline, they'll love for Jarvan to get ult back.
They were able to shut down the Ezreal. They did blow Ori Flash there.
And I think that might be game. They just killed 4 people. They have 30 seconds on the clock.
Sona and Tarek are up very soon though. So
yeah, but they won't be able to be.
They could end it, but I don't know. I think.
The overall front line is just too tanky at this point in the game. You can't really touch them with the Aurelia or.
And it's like at this point they only had, as I was saying earlier in the champions, so like they only had 3 sources of damage, and that's it.
They're not gonna end.
Oh, they are backing off.
Yeah, they're back. They definitely could have ended there.
It's good for DePaul because now it gives them a second chance to just play it out slow. That was a good team fight. If Jarvan had more items, he would have just annihilated the Oriana as well. But it still allows DePaul to just come back, just play it slow, maybe try to farm wherever they can. Because they only did take 1 inhib, so it's not the biggest deal. And they have one Nexus turret up still.
Yeah, and they did shut down the Ezreal, so the J4 was able to pick up not a full item, but he was able to pick up some bits and pieces, which will make him at least a little bit more resistant. Unfortunately, the Renekton did die. I think if he would have just cut the wave, behind them, we would have been okay instead of trying to fight 3v1. Yeah, but now we're just going to see clear out vision by Big Toe Bros. I think it's kind of on Cute Knight's shoulders to carry this.
She almost did that last team fight with
Yeah.
the stun and the old is almost ladder. Just go ham on the back line.
Yeah, Sona hit her ult. That was
really good.
That was good. That was the second time.
They
this
get
game.
more damage in order to keep that level better.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think they're gonna get a chance to get more damage just because Sona, she's so far behind. Ezreal has 4 full items with
He
this.
does have flash though. I can't see if Black Kid is down. I can't see a flash ult go in. Really with the next in.
Here goes Stay Forward.
That's a good
That's
four-man
perfect.
hold right there.
Oh, Sona was unable to get the ult. Sona was able to get the ult off, but they will just.
There were just too much going on there. They had very little damage.
Yeah, they weren't able to focus down.
That was a really good engage though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was such a very good ult.
How
Good
they
ults
been-
on the Paul team.
how they
They
been-
just didn't have any more. They just
Yeah.
didn't have enough damage to finish off the enemy team. And the redemption coming into play, healing up Big Toe Bros really saved them there.
Yeah, and I think if they would have done that earlier on into the game, they would have been able to accelerate a lot quicker rather than, doing that twice at, 24 and 26 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And second games goes to Big Toe Bros, who are going to be
Congratulations.
Yeah,
GG
congratulations
Leagues.
to Big Toe Bros. They are the GG Leagues Gold finalist winners. So yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of the games? How do you think DePaul could have played that one better? What are some things that they should be looking at next year when they come back?
Definitely not the Sona and Tarek pick. It just they limit their damage sources to only three people, and if I understand like the Sona, her AP ratio and like her damage late game is really good, but if she can't do anything in the early game and their ADC is just able to farm freely and just get items, that's not going to help their team fights at all. That's not going to really help them in the game towards the end of the game.
I do think it really set them back though was the early kill the bot lane had that's what really started to snowball the bot side. Had they played a little bit slower, maybe safer, they could have been maybe potentially a different game. So Tariq is potent, and if they get at least stay even with their bot side counterparts, then they can become really strong and an annoyance actually, especially with their team with the because as you saw there at the end, the Aurelia and Renekton who just got to free fire on the backside, just outputting crazy amount of damage, but they didn't have just enough to finish out the fight. And if they had been more even, or even just even ahead, they would have been, I think, DePaul's game.
Yeah, I think if DePaul would not have died early and gotten as far behind as they did early, I think it could have been a lot better. I think the bot lane from Big Toe Bros kind of just carried that game. There wasn't really much else to it. And DePaul was just unable to get top lane and mid lane. Like mid lane was very, very far ahead. I just think they weren't able to use that, and they didn't really get top lane ahead. Top lane got the 1 kill early, and then I don't think we ever really saw J4 gank top.
No, because at that point, all Urgot really needed to do was just let Renekton push the lane into him, and like I said earlier, Urgot's just gonna play the game to where he just needs to just keep up with CS, not even try to fight, just stay in the game as best as he can, and just scale into the late game, which he did excellently in this match.
Yeah, so that is all from us. Again, my name, I am in the Discord. My name is Italian Bro. I am the president of Elmhurst College Esports, and if you would like to become part of GG Leagues, again, the link should be in our description on the Twitch page, but if it is not, you can just go to ggleagues.com and sign up a team, sign up yourself. Again, if you would like to play, you don't have to come in with a team. If you don't have anyone at your school that has a team, or if you don't have any other people that There is kind of just a team of randoms that play together. Again, this is open for high schools and colleges, all at different skill levels. So even if you don't want to play in a league, we do have kind of just like a looking for games or scrimmages type of thing. So that is all for us. We will be back next 15 to 30 minutes with the Platinum Division games. We will see you guys then. Have a wonderful rest of your day.